welcome back to They Did What? Your source for the internet's craziest, most entertaining stories where I go over them, analyze them, and most certainly make fun of them. Today I'm going to go over a story titled, Am I the A-hole for dumping my cheating girlfriend who has cancer? And a shout out to Andy for sending in this story. And guys, this story is about a young guy only 18 years old at the time of his first post here, who truly handled things like a boss after, like the title says, his girlfriend admitted to cheating on him. But the thing is, you're going to see that she comes home from college and she finds out, at least she claims, and I'm skeptical on this, that she has cancer. And then admits that she cheated on him and blames him for reasons that she cheated. And then she thought she was going to get a pass. Nope, he's done with her. Goodbye. But that's just the beginning, because it goes to a whole new level of crazy, the things she pulls and her family to get this guy to change his mind. And of course, that guy holds strong. And I'll be going to go over here, number one, to show you about a guy who handles things like a boss. This guy is only 18 at the time, and he handled things better than guys 2 or 3 times his age. And also, the lengths they'll go to blame guys for their bad actions is crazy. And oh yeah, P.S., I'm highly questionable about this whole cancer thing, by the way. So, starts off, says, I'm 18 years old, and my girlfriend, a 19-year-old female. We've been together since our freshman year of high school, and we've been close ever since. After high school, my girlfriend went off to college in another state, so we barely saw each other. So he was doing a long-distance relationship. Smack! Well, once again proving that they are not a good idea. We barely saw each other, though we still texted and called once in a while. I decided not to go to college, so I was mostly working and hanging out. She did come back for Christmas, and we saw each other, but not for very long. Well, a few days after the holiday, she gathered everyone, her parents, me, and a few cousins, and she has said she has something to share with us. She had never looked this serious before, and I could tell also that she seemed very sad. She explained that during her yearly checkup, the doctor found something concerning. After a few tests, she was informed that she had stage 1 breast cancer. Whoa! Well, I didn't know, or maybe I'm wrong here, that women can get them that young. Why would I know that? But if that is true, that's awful. At least it's discovered early on. But still, given how the story goes, I question whether this is a bunch of crap. Everyone in the room was shocked and devastated by the news. We all hugged her and offered our support. The very next day, I got a call from my girl asking to see me as soon as possible. I assumed it was an emergency, so I went right to her place right away. When I arrived, she led me to her room and sat me down with a serious look on her face. What now? Yesterday was cancer. What now? You're born a man? Seriously. The first thing she said was, I can't keep this in any longer. I feel super guilty. I was confused, but I let her speak. Well, long story short, she confessed that she had been cheating on me, both physically and emotionally. Notice she said that it wasn't, I cheated on you like one time. Cheating. Didn't take her long, huh? Long-distance relationship. I was extremely hurt by this, considering that we'd been together for 5 years, and I thought our relationship was strong, with no major problems. My first question was, why? She quickly answered, I felt neglected. In other words, it's your fault. You're doing a long-distance relationship. She's in another state. And yeah, there's going to be not a whole lot of time to be together while you're apart, and automatically, he's the bad guy. And I'm willing to bet you, well, she discovers she has cancer. Well, there you go. I have to get my feelings out somehow by, going on a sausage fest. I was hurt and angry because I always made time for our relationship, even canceling plans with friends to be with her. See? In my frustration, I told her it was over and I walked away. Good for you, bro. I don't care whether she has stage 1, stage 19 cancer, whatever. That's not acceptable. But I guarantee you, in her mind, everybody's going to say, oh my God, you're so horrible. She has cancer. How can you break up with you? She was fucking cheating on me. That's how I could break up with her. And they'll say, oh, she was out of her mind and she's young and she's losing it. Doesn't matter. Well, since then, my phone has been blowing up with calls and messages from all her relatives calling me cruel and heartless for leaving her during a time of need. I just need some reassurance here. Was I wrong to leave her? Am I the a-hole? No, you're not the a-hole. If she does indeed have breast cancer. Okay, I don't wish that on anybody. That's too bad. But clearly, sounds like if this is true, she had been cheating long before that diagnosis. And so she's a big giant asshole. And you don't owe her anything. Period. But he's young, and so he's going to be easily swayed by adults telling him he's a villain here. That's why I went to Reddit. But no, you handled it right. Now it's time to cut her off. Now, I'm going to read a couple comments because, as you can imagine, the whole comment section is losing their mind. One guy says, she was absolutely looking for a pass. Cancer in any form is awful, and I don't wish it on anybody, but let's be real, early stage breast cancer is often treatable and has a high survival rate, especially with early detection. I'm not saying it's easy, but it's not a free pass to cheat or avoid accountability. Her timing feels pretty convenient, and it's hard to not see it in that way. You can feel sympathy for her situation without excusing what she did. You're allowed to prioritize your own well-being. You're goddamn right about that. I think that was a woman who did that. Another one. Not the a-hole. She confessed to relieve her own conscience and then wants to go shock Pikachu when you don't accept what she did. She cheated and left you totally your call. The relatives don't know what she did. Guaranteed she went with, I told him I had cancer, and the next day he dumped me, rather than admit fault. I'm willing to bet you that's what happened. Trickle truth. Start texting them back that you aren't obligated to forgive someone who just confessed to cheating on you for months and was tacky enough to hand out you a number to her crazy relatives, then block them all. Amen. Okay, now to his update, because he posted this first post a year ago. Then he's gone off the, he's disappeared, and then about a few weeks ago he did an update to this whole thing. And guess what? Oh, it's getting crazy. And by the way, guys, his writing was abysmal. It was all one big giant fucking mess paragraph, run-on sentences in bad English, so I corrected some things to make it a little more easy to hear. He says, hello, everyone. About a year ago, I posted on this subreddit, which I had totally forgotten about until recently. I had some run-ins with people I used to know involved in that previous situation, so I thought I'd post an update for you all. After this, I'll probably never post on this account again, mainly because I never use Reddit anymore, and I'm just too busy in my personal life to really use social media anymore. My original post is on my profile, so if you'd like to take a look at it, feel free. Now for the update. So after I made that post, I was really emotional. I was in a bad place as my girl, now ex, had basically just told me my worst nightmare. After taking a few days to cool off, I called one of my buddies and I told him what happened. Pretty much after that, he swung by and picked me up, and I asked, where are we going? Simply, he didn't say anything and took me to a spot where he and his friends go. It's basically by the water and has a nice view. Oh, good. It's good you got out of there. You need some peace and quiet, some nature. We talked and he shared his own experience with infidelity, and that gave me somewhat of an idea of what I should do. Pretty much that whole week, my ex's family was trying to pressure me into getting back with her, but I stood my ground. Good for you, young brother. That's not easy if you have everybody freaking telling you you're the devil and you made a bad decision and all that. But here's the thing. It's none of their fucking business. But probably she was having a meltdown and figured this is going to make her health worse, so we have to get involved. I didn't want to be in a relationship that has no trust or loyalty. Amen. Well, I was originally going to wait until she would go back to college, but that was going to take a while since the new semester hadn't started at that time. So she was pretty much home for a long time, and we lived only a couple blocks away. Naturally, I did not want to see my ex again, but I knew she wasn't going to stay away, and I was right because she came to my house multiple times. Of course she did. Probably every single time there was another fucking tantrum. Key in his car, putting bananas in the tailpipe, Lord knows what. Eventually, I threatened her with the police. She backed down, but her family only got more involved. Eventually, my parents, who I still lived with at the time, kept waking up to them outside of our house. My parents were naturally pissed off and involved the police. Eventually, a restraining order was gathered against my ex, and that stopped her for a while. That is pretty darn bad when he had to reach the point that his parents were involved, and they had to call the cops and get a restraining order because she wouldn't go away, you know? Again, yes, indeed, if it's true, she has the cancer, that's terrible, but still, that doesn't excuse her cheating and make him have to be the bad guy here. Believe me, women have dumped guys for far less, right? And men are supposed to respect them dumping us, well, then okay. However, that didn't stop her for very long because she started posting on social media that she was pregnant and how we were getting married soon. He's like, this is fucking news to me. I didn't propose to her, and she's pregnant? Uh-huh. I was not marrying her, and she basically lied to all our mutual friends and even friends of hers that I hadn't even met. So I blocked her, and when people realized I wasn't talking to her, they kept trying to get me to take responsibility and man up. Well, I blocked them too. Okay, now she's dragging his name through the mud on social media. And there's your obvious lies. Either she's not pregnant at all, or she is and somebody else's baby. Well, while they did a restraining order, time to talk to a lawyer. I'm sure his parents were happy to fork over the dough because, look, you never know, this type of stuff can have an impact on your life. Defamation. Eventually, I realized, even if I did get her off my back, I still had to worry about her family, and now friends who believe I'm some sort of deadbeat. During all the times she and I got intimate, we used protection. Good job, brother. Always wear protection, guys. Remember that. Always provide your protection, wear your protection, and dispose of your protection. I was always very adamant about that. I'm 100% sure that she was not pregnant, and if she was, it was not by me. That's probably why she was so eager to get him back, because she's pregnant with if she is pregnant, she's pregnant with the other guy's baby, and knows this guy's a sure thing. So I called him my uncle, and for context here, my uncle lives in another state. He's retired and pretty much does nothing but most days except for play poker and have a beer. I called him and told him about my situation, and he told me I was welcome to come stay with him as long as I wanted. That's a cool uncle. Sounds like a godfather. So I basically moved out of state and currently live with my uncle. I found a job and decided to continue staying with him since he told me I could stay as long as I'd like. When I offered to pay rent, he shut that idea down immediately. But for the most part, my life has been much better. I decided to start dating again. I met a nice gal at a small family-owned diner. She's the boss's daughter and only seems to be 1 or 2 years older than me. I asked her out and she said yes. I'm going on my first date in a long time. Well, I'm glad he's doing better and I'm glad his life is good, but here's the thing. He can't allow himself to be chased out of his home. If he liked living there with his parents or in that area where he grew up, that's crazy. He's chased out of there. I'm glad the uncle gave him an opportunity, but still. If he's happy living there, fine, but still. As for my ex, oh good. Well, according to my parents and some friends who never gave into her bullshit, she kept spinning the narrative online until she finally gave up. I never asked if she really was pregnant, and frankly, I do not care. My life is infinitely better without her. Thank you all for listening at the time of writing this post. I was going through it now, but I can say I am much calm and my life is better. I wish you all well. So there you go, guys. Wasn't a long one, but I had to cover it here. But yeah, handle like a boss. Like I said, guys, twice his age, 3 times his age, don't handle as well as he did. And again, I don't know if she indeed had the cancer or not, or even was pregnant or not. But this chick obviously is out of her mind, and that's that. And oh yeah, P.S. Don't do long distance relationships. So guys, your girl cheats on you. You got every reason to end it with her. And often they'll use things to try to get pity and get out of it. Hence, everybody coming after him. Oh, she has cancer. You're cruel. You're heartless. Or she's pregnant. You got to man up. She ain't pregnant, and if so, it ain't my kid. Now, a few comments before I wrap this up. One guy says here, I hate to ask, but did she fake the cancer too? Thank you. She's faking the pregnancy. What else is she lying about? Lying to her friends and family that you got her pregnant is crazy over the top. I wonder what else she's going to lie about. Either way, hope she's cancer-free and glad this is done. Another one, this guy says, not the a-hole. Cancer does not erase cheating. It sucks that she's going through a tough diagnosis, but it doesn't excuse betraying your trust. She made a choice to cheat, and you have every right to end a relationship that no longer feels respectful or loving, regardless of her health situation. People calling you cruel and emotionally reacting to her cancer diagnosis, but that doesn't mean you're obligated to stay with her in a relationship with someone who hurt you deeply. Supporting someone through illness doesn't have to come at the cost of your emotional well-being. You can care about her diagnosis while still protecting yourself from further hurt. And last one before I wrap this up. This guy says, not the a-hole. I don't even have to read the whole thing. I wish her well with her treatment, but you have no obligation to stay with her cheating. I can understand that having cancer can probably send you into crisis mode and make you do things you wouldn't normally do, and I hate that for her, but that doesn't change the real pain that you're feeling from her actions. Let's remember something here, guys. The guy was with her for several years, high school girlfriend, and all that. I mean, okay, probably first love, first lay. She cheated on him. He was going through the hurt of the betrayal and all this crazy shit, So, no, she's toast. Who knows what happened to her? I frankly don't give a shit, but there you go, guys. All right, guys, that's it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. Seriously, here's the thing. I want to know, guys, do you think she was pregnant, and do you think she actually had cancer? Seriously, I'm seriously questioning that. And be sure to like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe. And I'll catch you next time.